The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is All Things Elite. Welcome back to All Things Elite. Load up the pod, man, it's on when we speak. Rich right here, let me warm it up for Austin and Floyd. Couldn't be no one but the boys. When it come to All Things Elite from the fan perspective, swear, man, it ain't no question. Hear from them first. Swear, man, they putting in the work. No, they had to get me for the verse. Social Suplex Network's on. Hours at a time in your headphones. Austin and Floyd on the microphone. Backing out on the rant, getting in the zone. Pulling up the show, give it 7 stars, you already know. Who else could it be but the show with the proclivity for positivity? I'm gone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 308th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with a proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Sumwitz. I am the host of this lovely show, and joining with me, as always, is my good buddy and friend, Mr. Floyd Johnson Jr. My man, how are you doing?
Dude, I am doing both amazing and exhausted at the same time. I told you, I was about to tell you a story before the show started about, so I got I signed up with Go Fitness. Anthony Agogo has a fitness thing. Got the app, got the coach, all that kind of shit. I'm not going to talk about this a lot. I promise. Honestly, for me, a trigger for me to get off of meal plans and working out is for me to talk about them too much. So I won't talk about this too much. So just bear with me this one time. So got the meal plan like Monday. And then, so the guy tells me to send him a little video of me doing some workouts, which I'm like, cool, right? So I'm not a member of a gym, and some of the workouts require equipment. So my wife got us into our local gym through her job, and it's like $9 a month. Perfect. So I get my wife up today. She was laying there just chilling, enjoying her last day off. I make her, I'm like, you got to get up. We got to go do this because we have a snowstorm coming this week. So we need to go to the gym. So I go to the gym, and there's 7 exercises. 7 exercises. He wants me, except for like 2 of the exercises where he wants to see different angles. Every one is just one set, and it's like 5 to 10 reps, right? It's like, man, we can knock this down. This is easy. Gonna get through, right? So I go through the workouts. One of them is doing a reverse lunge, right? I was terrified from the beginning because, as you know, I'm very open. I sit on my ass for a living, right? I live a very sedentary lifestyle. So even though I can walk, you put me on a treadmill, I can do 3 to 5 miles right now. I'll be tired, but I'd finish it, right? Well, if you ask me anything to do with stretching muscles or something, it's not going to go well. So I'm doing this reverse lunge, and I did 5. And we're only saying I did 5. I will call it, I did 5 attempts. I don't think I did even one right. And then I fell on the second one.
Oh, boy.
Just fly out. But I asked my wife's recording it. And she basically, and that's says, you want to stop? I was like, no, I don't want to stop. He needs to see what he's working with. Like I can't do this, And like I want to be able to do it eventually, but he needs to see where I'm at, doing it until I get it right is not seeing where I'm at. It's, me trying to fudge. It's like when you take a practice test and the teacher gives a practice test to see your skills on. It's like cheating on a practice test. Well, I don't know what to focus on if you cheat on the practice test, right? So right. I wanted to do it. I want him to see it the way it was. It was so terrible. But the worst thing, this is the thing that was demoralizing, is I did 1 set of 7 exercises. I will tell you, I will venture to say this wasn't even half of most people's warm-ups. Dude, I was fucking exhausted and sore. Like 15 minutes, I was sweating. It was like 15 minutes for the whole thing. I was sweating, exhausted. I get home, I sit down, I started tightening up. I'm like, I'm sore. And when I tell you, like, these were the most basic exercises with a very lightweight. I'm trying to be like really, really like honest about how bad it was. And I was like, it's humbling because I'm a walker. That is my preferred form of exercise, conditioning, cardio. It's just walk. I lost 60 pounds just walking. Didn't lift one weight, didn't do squats, didn't do anything. I lost 60 pounds just walking. So, you start thinking, oh, I'm kind of in shape. And then you realize, then you start doing things that you're not comfortable with. And you realize how not in shape you are. So that's where I'm started. January 22nd or 23rd if you're on the East Coast. That's where I'm at right now. You will not get progress reports, not on this show. Because like I said, it's if you want to DM me or something, if you're, and you want to find out my progress, go for it. But like I said, a lot of me is what, for me, and again, I'm done after this, my triggers is when I lost weight and then people told me how great I was and how in shape I was. And some people had told me I lost too much weight and blah, blah, blah. And that all went to my head. And then I was like, well, I can start taking it easy. And I took my foot off the gas pedal.
Right.
And now I've gained all the way back. And I'm not saying feel sad or anything. It's just me at 44. I tell people, always pay attention to yourself. Never think you completely know yourself. Keep learning about yourself. At 44 years old, I found out that's a trigger for me. Feeling like I'm done is a trigger for me. The goal for me is to a long-term health so I can live longer and I can do this podcast longer and I can go to a lot of shows and all that shit. So my goal is long-term health. And I got to get out of my mindset that at some point I'm done. Because this is not a done thing. This is
right.
This is changing to a lifestyle. And that's what happened. It was like I got so many compliments in my head. It was like, oh, I'm done. I can go back to eating the way I did and all that kind of stuff. And it was just such a fallacy that triggered. So if anybody else has problems with weight loss or anything, you might probably feel me on this. And like I said, you ever want to hit me up directly and discuss it? I'm part of a couple Facebook groups. I'm a part of the Ogogo Fitness group. Yeah, it's all about losing weight and all that kind of stuff. And I work better when I'm in a community. So if you do see pictures on the page of me and Austin later this year, and you're like, good Lord, Floyd was so much bigger, just know it worked. But other than that, I'm not going to do a lot of, oh my God, this workout was super hard and all that stuff. Because I do that. I'm a talker. I mean, anybody listens to this show, I know I'm kind of supposed to talk on this show, but if you've ever met me in person, I don't lack for things to say. But yeah, this is one of those ones I'm going to try not to talk about as much, which is going to be a workout in itself.
Yeah. No, and again, too, like, it's exciting to see you, like, continue to grow at that, too. Because, again, and I understand, too, the whole mindset of, like, feeling like, oh, well, I'm fine now. But it's just, it's a constant thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've fallen off on running because I am a runner. That's my favorite workout. Throw on music and just run. It's what I do, basically. And I've fallen off of that big time. In fact, probably tomorrow before I go to work, I'm probably going to get up a little early and just do a little bit of a run to see where I'm at and then try to get back into it a little bit because I fell off big time. And, so I'm rooting for you, man. I know you're going to be able to continue to grow in your journey in that regard. But,
yeah, like I told my guy, I was like, I am not. There's nothing in me that says I can't lose the weight. I know I can. I've done it before. My big thing is trying not to gain the weight again, not to get off the yo-yo. So we'll see how that works out.
Yep, we will see. But we got, of course, it is coming off of AEW Dynamite in Orlando. We got some stuff going to talk about this show. Honestly, it's going to be a relatively quick show, I feel like, for us, just coming out of Maximum Carnage and everything. So it's going to be a little bit more of a quicker show because I feel like me and Floyd can kind of hit on everything that we want to hit on that took place in AEW this week. So we're going to get into everything. Before we get into the show, though, we want to make sure you guys are downloading this fine show on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you choose to listen to us. We appreciate it. Give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Rate, review, subscribe, turn automatic downloads on. Leave a rating and a review if you're so inclined. You can also follow us on AT Elite Pod on Twitter. You can also follow at Social Suplex. We're so happy to be part of the Social Suplex Podcast Network. You should give all their other shows a listen. I'm at Austin Sumowicz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And be sure to sign up for the Social Suplex newsletter. Link in the description of this show. News of the week. So our buddy Floyd had a little bit of a travel plan go awry because of what is happening this week. And of course, I'm a Michigan man. I'm no stranger to this type of horse shit, but the rest of the country is getting a little bit of a winter storm. I think in our news of the week, it literally says, "Oh, the weather outside is frightful."
Yes.
That's a bit of a statement on that.
It's literally it's starting in New Jersey. Jackie is getting the same weather that we're getting in Texas. That's how large this winter vortex is.
Sydney's in Long Island, and she's telling me like they're thinking they're gonna get like 12 to 16 inches of snow.
Yeah, and we're
freaking A.
Ours is 8 to 12, and 8 to 12 in Michigan, probably not that big a deal. Probably I got the snow plows and that stuff. 8 to 12 in Oklahoma, which is southern United States, like in the southern hemisphere or whatever, the United States, if you're thinking about it down the middle. Yeah, we kind of shut down when that happens. Like schools and stuff are already closed. Not a drop of snow has fell. Schools are closed. People are working from home. They canceled the AEW Collision in Arlington, which I was going to. So I told my boss, I was like, well, that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and work this weekend because I don't have Collision to go to. So Oklahoma shuts down. No one knows how to drive on it. I wouldn't say we're as bad as somewhere like Miami, who never seen snow. We get snow. We get ice regularly. But yes, people get really, really stupid when it falls here. So that being said, the weather is going to be frightful. It's funny because I had a big weekend planned. I had tickets to my friend Echo. Her birthday and Christmas are like really close together, so I said, I'm going to take you to a Thunder game. We're going to have Thunder game. We're going to eat some food. We're going to have a good time. And then I was like, okay. And then the next day, I'm going to go to Dallas for Collision. I had me a great weekend planned. Collision gets canceled. NBA rarely closes for a game. I mean, it's going to have to be blizzard conditions for the NBA to not have a game. So they rarely, because their games are indoors, they rarely ever cancel or postpone a game. So I don't think that's a problem. So I'm still going to go to the game because you don't get to call Ticketmaster and say, hey, it's going to be snowing outside. Give me my money back. No. Exactly. They just say, hey, deal with it. You lose your money. So with me, as much as, I am the way I am going to, if I spent money on something, I'm going to it. So I will be at the Thunder and Pacers game tomorrow night. Now, all right. I think the Pacers are already here. I was like, the only hope is that the Pacers will not be able to make it in town.
No, they traveled the day before, so.
So, no. But, I'm looking forward to the game. And I am a winter person because I don't really like going outside anyway. So, if I didn't have these plans this weekend, I would be, like, fucking geeked. But because I had plans, I'm like, oh, my God. So inconvenient. So, there you go.
Yeah, and for us, like literally, it's just gonna be cold. Like we're not even getting snow, like a lot of places are. Like up here, it's just cold. Like the wind chill is gonna knock the temperature to be like minus. The real feel is gonna be like minus 20 over here. Like it's just gonna feel like freezing cold. Like just like how it's gonna be like super cold with the wind chill especially. So we're just going to be bundled up basically. And I don't know what games we're going to be able to cover if at all for tomorrow because of high school basketball for my job, so we'll see how that goes. I'd be stunned if games actually go on because, who wants to drive and go places when it's this cold? Like we'll just stay in our igloos. Thank you very much.
And the thing about high school basketball is they'll play like 2 games in one night.
No.
They will.
I mean, like...
they'll be we're just going to play 2 games and catch up that way.
They'll stack it on top of that. And I'm like... Because, like, they're just like, whatever. Or if it's like a specific team that's out of conference, they'll just be like, yeah, we're just going to cancel this and we won't reschedule it either. Like,
Yeah.
we'll just, like, bull rush through the schedule. Because most teams make the playoffs anyway. But, yeah, it's just going to be cold. And, of course, my parents go and make a trip down to Florida this week as all this hits. I'm just like, oh, have a great time, guys.
Yeah.
I'll just stay here and freeze my ass off.
They're smart. And, you know, I was about to say something that would have got me canceled. Never mind. I was thinking of some the alternatives to stay warm. And I was like, nope, shouldn't say that. Keep going. So
yeah, well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and get into all AEW Dynamite, which took place from Orlando, Florida, which, first of all, before we even get into the show, I need to bring up something that is a crossover that, frankly, I was not expecting to see on my YouTube feed. So, Floyd, I got to ask you, did you see, because MJF was doing a shitload of media, actually, going into into this week, basically, and MJF.
it's almost like he wants to be the first face of the company or something.
Yeah, it's almost like he's being the world champion. But there's this YouTube podcast kind of YouTube channel called WDW News Today, Walt Disney World News Today, and MJF popped over to do the podcast and talk about theme parks and pro wrestling. And, you know, last thing I was expecting was to see MJF on a podcast talking about theme parks. I mean, I knew he goes to Disney. I've seen the pictures on his socials with him and Alicia. And I know he goes to Disney. I know he does. But watching him talk about it was amazing. Because, like, he's just getting into the weeds with it. And one thing he loves talking about, too, is theme park food. Theme park food and drinks. He was nonstop about that type of stuff. So if you guys have not seen that, I highly recommend, especially if you like theme parks. Even if you don't, when you want to just see MJF do his thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you dig MJF doing its thing, you know, sometimes it's always fun to see it in a non-wrestling situation, like talking about other stuff, because he still, I've seen clips from it, he still manages to be a dick, you know?
Oh, absolutely. He calls the two guys, like, that do the podcast fat and, like, you know, neckbeards and everything like that. And I was expecting him to go off on some Disney adult type stuff, and I was very much, he kind of held it in a little bit more, and I wish they would have given him a little bit more time to do stuff, but I'm sure he'd try to get back on the show if they'd have him back, though.
Yeah, so,
but I will say firmly, though, I was very disappointed that he decided to diss Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Orlando. I know that just closed, and he said basically it could rot in hell, and I'm just like, am I the only one who liked that coaster? Like, I like that. I like that ride. I thought it was fun.
The last time I went to Universal, all I did was go to Harry Potter World. So I don't.
Yep.
And when I go back to Universal and a Universal Epic, I'm gonna just do Harry Potter stuff. So yes,
I'm sure. It was also wild to hear him talk about Epic Universe after last December. Me and my family went to Epic Universe, and it was a ton of fun.
Yes. So. See, we never talked about that, did we?
I think I touched on it slightly.
Yeah, see, now I'm mad because I wanted to know all the Harry Potter stuff, you know?
Oh, dude, I didn't get to do everything because I know there's a show that's there, too, like a Magical Beasts show sort of thing, which that wasn't running. I will say that I found out very quickly that the Harry Potter ride that's at this park consistently has the longest lines in the park.
Yes.
Like we paid way too much money to be able to do the Universal Express Pass, so that way we could skip the lines a little bit. And after we rode the ride, we looked outside and saw how, like, normally it was like a 3-hour wait, and we were like, yeah, we like the ride. It's not worth a 3-hour wait. Like, not even close to a 3-hour wait worth it. Because I would firmly say too, like, if you're looking for the best Harry Potter rides, I would still highly recommend Escape from Gringotts and Forbidden Journey. Those are two like just top tier rides. This one's good too, and I love a lot of like the technological stuff about the ride too, with the mixtures of not just screens, but animatronics. It's like a cool little hybrid that they do. And it's always entertaining just to do that type of ride. But yeah, it's not worth a 3-hour wait.
So,
honestly,
you got your main reasons you want to lose weight, and then your secondary reasons that you want to lose weight.
Getting on Harry Potter Forbidden Journey is your secondary reason.
Yeah, the drive, rides in general, fitting better in rides is one of my secondary reasons.
Sure. Well, and then again too, like with freaking Forbidden Journey and some other like rides, like they literally won't let you on if you're a certain weight because you won't fit.
This is what I'm going to tell someone. You know what's worse? I will tell anyone what's worse than not being able to get on the ride? Barely fitting on the ride. It's so fucking uncomfortable. You don't enjoy it. You don't enjoy it. I'd rather you just say I can't get on the ride.
And then you're just like, fine.
Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I got something to look forward to. But yes, when you can barely fit on and they just kind of barely snap in and they got
hey, man.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not doing that. I want to fit in it comfortably.
Hey, it may not be your main driving factor, but it's a bonus.
Yes,
it's definitely a bonus. But yeah, I will say though, for people who do like, I'll real quickly say this, and then we'll get back to the wrestling. My things on Epic Universe, the park's amazing. Favorite rides by far, the Stardust Racers, or as MJF like to call it, the coaster that killed somebody, and then Monsters Unchained. Holy shit, Monsters Unchained was so goddamn cool. The most excited I was in that park was to go see the Universal Monster Movies Land, and it was just, Darkmoor was so fucking cool. Like, dude, it was the fucking shit. I loved how cool it looked. Yeah, it's awesome. And Stardust Racers is just an amazing fucking dual coaster. Like, it's so fun. It was the first ride we rode, and my parents were 100% not prepared for the type of ride that it was. So they got woken the fuck up.
Dude, what was I going to say? Another thing about MJF. Yeah, just on the topic of MJF and AEW. The match has been out for a week, 2 weeks now, I think, something like that. Make sure you watch the Limitless Wrestling match with Alex Price. I actually just watched it, and it's a different type. It's like a more old school type of approach, especially how MJF works it. It was a good match, and I really did enjoy it, and it made me interested in seeing how Alex Price was going to do in AEW. And
didn't he offer him a contract after the match?
Yeah, it was so funny. They offered him and Jordan Oliver a contract after the match. Jordan Oliver wasn't even in the match. He is Alex Price's tag team partner, and Alex Price's tag team partner, and they are the GCW tag team champions, and I think they call themselves Busta in the Brain, which is hilarious because Alex is the Busta, and Jordan Oliver is the Brain. Yeah, Busta in the Brain. And it's funny because for the longest time, if you listen to the show, and this is kind of a deep cut to the beginning, I'm all about Pinky in the Brain, and I was like, man, I feel like somebody in wrestling should be like Pinky in the Brain type character. So the fact, soon as I saw that they did that, I was like, okay, I like you. Because they say because they do the line where they don't say it exactly, but what are we going to do tonight? We're going to try to take over the world. And I popped so hard. Because if anyone asks me in my adult life, if you ask me, what are we doing tonight? And I'll say, same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world. It's what I always say. I've been saying this for 30-something years since I saw the original show. So I thought that's one of those things. You never know what'll make you like someone. And before I ever saw him wrestle and I learned about that kind of gimmick, I was like, okay, you at least have my attention.
You know the voice of Pinky's from Michigan, right?
No.
Yeah, Rob Paulson. He's from Detroit. He went to the University of Michigan Flint actually before he dropped out and went to Los Angeles to do acting and stuff like that.
I'm proud of him because he made it out of Flint.
Well, he was born in Detroit. He went to school in Flint.
Yeah,
he went to school.
If you drive through Flint, I'll be like, oh, I'm glad you made it out.
Just briefly. He was there briefly.
No.
But no,
you know what's funny?
Rob Paulson's a Michigan legend.
Dude, he's been at a lot of cons.
He's at so many. Well, because the dude, I mean, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Goofy Movie, Goof Troop, Jimmy Neutron, fucking Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. Like, the amount of things this dude, like, people say, like, he's literally so many people's childhoods. Like, so many people's childhood.
As a big old freaking nerd, that's the one thing I'm not a nerd of. I don't really look up who voiced things. I have this thing where I just want to pretend the character is the character. So I don't really... So, because Bart Simpson ruined my life.
Oh, when you found out that it wasn't a guy?
Yeah, it was like a 40-year-old woman. I was like, what the hell? And I'm okay. And I want everybody to know this. Yeah, that was my reaction as a child. That is not my reaction as an adult.
Yeah. No, he went to Grand Blanc High School, actually, which is like 15 minutes away from me. So, like, I love that. And, like, Rob was the first one. Last thing, tangent. Sorry. Rob was the first one where I started to actively, like, hear his voice at other shows that I watched. And I'm like, hang on a second. Like, I'm hearing the same voice. Like, hang on. Like, when I heard Jimmy Neutron with him doing Carl Weezer and then hearing him in Animaniacs, I was like, I'm like, it's the same fucking guy. It's the same guy. Drove me nuts when I found out that it was the same guy. And, like, for everything I've seen is, like, and I love when voice actors, like, go up to kids and do the voice and you can see the kids light up. Like, the character is literally there talking to them. Like, it's the coolest thing. Like, there's that one with, I don't remember his name, but he played Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo live action movie. He did that for a kid and it was, like, so cool.
That's pretty cool. Like I said, it's just like, for people like him, I just saw his name and I was like, oh God, he's like in every con I go to.
Yeah. All right, getting back to the wrestling though, and obviously we touched on MJF and his Disney talk. So he got on mic to open up the show in Orlando, and basically was insulting the crowd. Talked about how with him holding the Triple B in this AEW World Championship, it's the only true World Championship in this business, and it's worth more than anything you people could afford in your bank account. If any other schmuck on your TV screen claims in this sport that they're the best of the best and their name ain't MJF, grab the remote and change the channel, because the only thing coming out of their mouth is the same thing coming out of their ass. He then talks about how Bandito was the first in a long list of losers, because 2026 is going to be the year of the devil. And as he's about to leave, Brody King comes out, walks up and says, basically, after what you did to Bandito last week, I've just been thinking about all the ways I want to hurt you, and nothing would give him greater joy than to reach into your chest, pull out your spine. But I'm not going to do that because MJF is a bitch. If I touch you, I won't get what I want, because I want a match so I can choke the life out of you and take your world title right here, right now, tonight. MJF then backs away, hides in the corner, and goes like, I need silence to think this over. No. And not because I'm afraid, and he barks, and he starts getting a little bit of freaked out. He's like, you're just all bark, no bite. And what do you deserve a world title shot for? Over the last few weeks, you've just beaten tomato cans, jabronis, jobbers. Until you beat elite talent, this match is not taking place. If you ever interrupt the champ again, we're going to have a problem. You know what? I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I got some real competition, and then he gets barked at again, and then he just scampers off. I will say, as a guy who loves Brody King, and I love him trying to get into the world title picture, 1,000%. The idea of him, being like, I can't touch you because I want a world title shot, and that's I got to play by the rules. That was something that I was like, Brody should just be able to just, through force of power and will, be able to just get a world title shot just because of the things that he can do. Like, I just feel like Brody, if he comes out and, gets in MJF's face after a match and MJF tries to step to him and then Max gets thrown around, I think all of a sudden that just makes a big statement of like, hey, like, your world title is on borrowed time. I'm going to take that from you. The idea of just Brody King just kind of playing ball just so he can get the world title shot, like, to me, I don't know. I just feel like it did, because Brody's a monster, and he's a well-spoken monster, and he can cut a promo, and he's good in that regard. And the spots of him talking about ripping out his spinal cord and his out of his chest and everything like that, and he wants to choke him out, all that's great. I just feel like you should just there should just be a different way for him to be able to stake his claim for the world title picture, because it needs to be in a way that gets it like over to the fact of like, oh, MJF's fucked. Like, this guy just got a world title shot and MJF is fucked. Like, that's got to be the selling factor of the match, because I think most people know MJF would do some slick shit and just end up retaining the belt anyway because he just won the damn thing. You know what I mean? So the promo was fine. I thought MJF's opening stuff was great. I just feel like they could have given Brody something better to do in regards to, like, you know, really make it be like, you know, because I mean the dude's already a contender just with the things he can do. I just feel like, I don't know, like there was no mention of him being tag team champion. There was no mention about like the things that he's done in his career. I think he should just be, I don't know. I thought there was just a lot left on the table for Brody in this promo. I don't know. Floyd, do you agree with me?
I agree with you, and it was one of those moments I had the bad guy versus good guy thing. I don't like to use, I'm trying not to use the other term as much because, again, it's not our term. But the bad guy versus good guy thing. A good bad guy, if MJF was a good guy and Brody King was a bad guy, he'd just come in there, beat the shit out of him. And the other guy would be so mad that he got the shit beat out of him. He's like, I'm going to challenge you to the title because, you know, it's the quick way. But now it's evil. You know, he's like, yeah, if I beat the shit out of you, you'll never give me a title shot, which, again, is the smart thing to do. You know, don't let people jump the line. MJF actually had very solid points because who has Brody King beat, you know,
Correct.
recently? So he actually had a very solid point there. So I thought that was cool. And hopefully this is leading to Brody King get some quality wins, and then we build
Absolutely.
to a match.
And I know it will. I just feel like this promo just felt like, and it's probably the ground floor of it, but I feel like if this is going to be a situation where, like, because this match is probably going to happen in like 3 weeks, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be a pay-per-view match.
I think it'll be at, and this is the reminder, Grand Slam, Australia, is basically a pay-per-view on TV. So you have to think about that when you're thinking about, oh, when are they going to do that match? You have to remember Grand Slam is coming. So it's on February 14th, I believe, which is, for here, it's going to be a collision. So Grand Slam is going to be a collision. And, you know, so make sure you're thinking about that when you think about where it's going. Because I do think MJF, Brody King might be the match for Grand Slam.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll move on to the, there's a quick little video package of Hangman Adam Page and Jet Speed, basically talking about what they went through at Maximum Carnage and everything. Hangman was saying tonight, you know, was supposed to be the night of celebration, and they tried to come up with a team name. They called up with Jet Set Rodeo, Kevin Knight suggested, and Bailey started to say horse cow, and like Hangman cuts him off, and then basically he's like, nah, I've tried that before, it didn't work out. And then Hangman Page and Jet Speed then mentioned how they got 2 matches against 2 world champions. And on Collision, Hangman's going to be taking on Shibata, and said that he's got everything. Speedball's got everything it takes to beat Samoa Joe, and good luck. And it's going to be a hell of a main event with Kevin Knight taking on Swerve.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I just thought, you know, it's kind of boilerplate. This is what's going down. Hey, we're good.
Yep, setting it up.
Yeah, kind of thing. It's kind of weird.
Yep. Real quickly, did you want to talk about the stuff with Hangman on social media?
I mean,
because some people had some thoughts about it.
See, I had thoughts. My thought was Hangman on social media. Marty Scurll, canceled, problematic, whatever pro wrestler, posted a picture with Hangman, and he said, like, whatever their name was, still right? First of all, I'm going to say this, and it was in front of a Cracker Barrel. Looking at the picture, I feel no way about it. In my mind, he's allowed to be friends with whoever he wants. I don't have a feeling about it, negative or positive, right? Mm-hmm. but he was in front of a Cracker Barrel. The way it looked to me, that wasn't a recent picture. I feel like Hangman's hair was different in the thing. I wasn't trying to break it down.
So you think it was just an old pic?
It was just an old pic, and he chose the day of Wednesday to post it. Right? Second of all, again, I'm not going to me personally, I'm not going to cancel anybody. I'm not going to have any bad feelings on blah, blah, blah on who they friends are. It's me and Mr. Hangman Page don't know each other personally. I don't know his life. I don't know him. I don't know Marty Scurll. I know what he was accused of and all that stuff. I know what he said. They're not my friends. All I care about is what Hangman brings on my television. On the 2 or 4 hours that I watch of TV every week. I don't really care about his personal life. And I do think for me, I think that's a problem with wrestling fans too much to me. That you're watching a TV show. You're watching characters on the TV show and it plays out. That's literally all they owe you. You know what I mean? They're performers on the TV show. What they do in their personal life is their personal life. Like, I'm not mad at Hangman. Yeah, y'all know how I feel about him or whatever. Like, I'm not mad at it. This didn't move my needle either way because I'm kind of detached to this type of shit. And you're like, oh, blah, 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 and you'll go off and rabble what Marty Scurll did. I'm not friends with Marty Scurll. I don't talk to Marty Scurll. I haven't paid to see Marty Scurll wrestle in 7 years. So, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like we have no relationship. So I have no feelings about what he does in his personal life because if he's not wrestling in a way that I watch, I really don't care about him. Okay. Now, you say your point.
Yeah. So basically all I got to say in the matter is I knew this as soon as I saw it. I was like, I knew especially the people that are big time into Hangman were going to really have a problem with this because the whole thing about Hangman is how unproblematic he is and, you know, all of his righteous causes that he vouches for and everything like that. And absolutely, like, to his right and his and what he should do and everything like that. Like, we appreciate Hangman for everything that he truly speaks up on and everything like that. 1,000%. So the fact that that picture was posted, whether it was recent, whether it wasn't, I knew it was going to rub people a lot the wrong way because of everything that took place. All I will say is, like, first of all, I can't care about something that happened 6 years ago. Like, especially with somebody that I don't know. And, like, I watched Marty. I was, like, a fan of him, like, joking on YouTube on being the Elite and doing the karaoke shit. That was kind of where it started and ended with me.
Yeah, he was probably my least favorite member of the Elite.
Yeah, like, and again, like, he had the whole whoop whoop thing, entrance thing, which was a thing. But all, like, the only thing I will say on the matter is, like, again, like I said, I don't know anything. And I can't tell a wrestler to be like, oh, you can't associate with this person that you've been friends with for years because he did a bad thing.
And I will tell you.
And I understand trying to, like, I'm not trying to fucking
minimize it.
I'm not trying to minimize it or anything, what he did. Again, it was not fucking good look. 1,000%. And I know what the situation was. And I understand it. But I'm not going to be like, hey, you who've been a friend with this guy and worked with this guy for fucking years in your career, he gets caught up in a whole bunch of bad shit, and he rightfully gets punished for it. But I can't tell you all of a sudden that, like, now you got to cut ties with him. You cut ties with who you cut ties with.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
And I'll say this. I will say, in life, you don't know what conversations they have or what they've been through and all that stuff. And that's the whole thing about social media. when you get on social media and stuff and you see these people posting, you start to believe you know them. Yep. You start to believe that they kind of owe you something, right? And it's just like, he's an entertainer. You know what I mean? He doesn't owe you anything, at all, and I say that to say that my stance is it's none of my business who he's friends with. That's my stance.
Pretty much.
Like, if you ask me about the other thing, I might give you your own thing. But to me, I don't even need to comment on that because that's none of my business. None of this is my business. So that's all I'm saying. I am like, but I'm not even giving you permission. I'm saying I understand you feel how you feel, and you're allowed to be as passionate or dispassionate as you want, and I'm going to respect whatever decision or opinion you come to because you have to decide on your own what your line is. I hope you understand I hope everyone understands what I'm saying here. Because you hate them, cool. You love them, still love them, cool. You feel nothing about them, cool. I'm not gonna it's not my business. It really
I think
isn't.
we can leave it at that, basically. So, I understand people's reaction to it. Is all I will say.
Yes,
I understand it, but at the same time, you can't get mad if people don't have the exact same reaction.
Yeah. This feels like a floor full of mousetraps, and we're trying to dance it. Now, if I go back, I'm going to leave this in. If I go back, I'm like, we probably should have just skipped it.
That's your call, dog. That's your call.
I'm not going to delete it. I mean, it's like we talked about it.
No, because again, but that's what I'll say. It's a situation that was handled 6 years ago.
Yes,
like almost 6 years ago. And the people that I feel like have the most to say about it are the people that were involved with it, specifically the victim.
Yeah.
That is the person who has the biggest say in all of this.
Yeah.
So I'm just some random schmuck that had nothing tied to the situation whatsoever.
Dude, I just watch. I watch I watch 2 TV shows every week and talk about it on a podcast. That's what I do. That's who I am. My words.
You are more. You are more than welcome to be. Yeah, people are more than welcome to be disappointed in Hangman if that picture was indeed recent that they caught up and whatnot, and they shared it on social media. People have every right to be frustrated with that, and also too, let's be frank, you don't gotta post that you're hanging out.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I had a very conversation with my friend, and she is very open. She almost treats Twitter like a diary, right? She posts a lot of stuff, and I try to tell my friend, you don't have to post every thought you have.
Trust me, dude.
I will tell you.
So Twitter is work for me. I do not treat it as anything other than that. Because if I treated it like my constant thoughts just coming out of my head, dude, and just commenting on everything all at once, it'd be the worst fucking thing ever.
If you looked into my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, any company in the world went through and scoured through my tweets, you wouldn't know anything about me personally. Mm-hmm. Those are conversations I have directly with people. You know what I mean? And that's how I choose to live my life, because I've lived a life where friends of mine have not gotten jobs because of stuff they've posted online. Mm-hmm. So I'm very much wrestling, football, silly shit online. Even when people try to take my shit and make it serious, I'm like, dude, you're marking up the wrong tree. This is just me being silly. You're trying to. It was funny. It was like in a group I was in. I like MJF, and they say you're MAGA coded, and all I said was okay. I did not change anything, because to me, if you say the type of entertainment I like leads to anything else, that seems weird to me. You know what I mean? 'Cause I know people that love crimes and serial killer shows. Am I supposed to think they really want to be a serial killer, or do they just like that form of entertainment?
Yeah. All I'll say in that regard too is I'm a northern boy who listens to a lot of hip hop and fucking rock and pop music and rock and all that kind of stuff. And if people know me, they know where I'm at. But I also listen to a good bit of country music too.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm just saying, I've always thought bad guys are just more entertaining for TV. Always. But if you know me, you know I'm not a bad guy.
And with that, we'll move on now to the next match of the show. First match of the show, I should say. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Samoa Joe. Oh yeah. This is a pretty solid match, I will say. I like the strikes that we had in this match. I love the spot of Joe grabbing Speedball as he slid to the outside and chopping the living shit out of him and looking at the crowd like, what? Obviously, in terms of the match itself, we didn't necessarily get to see the just straight one-on-one match with Speedball and Joe with the ops getting involved and everything like that. And also it was a little bit frustrating because, we have this whole thing in the segment beforehand of this match where, Hangman and fucking Kevin Knight talk up how you guys are going to do great. You're going to do great against Samoa Joe. And then he gets jumped in the match and I don't see Hangman and I don't see Kevin Knight. I'm like, does anybody want to go and chase off Hook and Shibata?
No. Again.
Does anybody want to come and help out your boy?
I promise not to go on this rant again, ever again. But dude, faces don't have friends. I don't even like using that word, but the alliteration works in this one. They just don't.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, and here's the thing. I understand you could be like, Kevin Knight is currently in the process of preparing for the main event. Hangman is currently not here because he's gearing up for Collision. You say that, then I'm fine with it. If you make a reason as to why they're not coming out to help him, that's fine. The segment before the match, they were building each other up. They were talking up like their team name and everything like that. And then he gets jumped in the match, and there's nobody to save him.
Why? You now see why.
Y'all are in the building.
Y'all now see, when I was growing up, why I wanted to be a bad guy. I'm just saying.
That's just saying. Hard, like the match itself, I will say, like hard hitting. I love Speedball with his strikes, but that frustrated the hell out of me because I feel like
how do you watch?
Why did that segment air if we were going to be like, oh, Speedball has no friends helping him?
Yeah, if Speedball had even said, "Hey, well, no matter what, don't come out." Okay,
that's
I get
fine.
it. I get it. But you just made Hank, to me, again, how I took it as a child and I take it now. You kind of make Hangman and Kevin Knight look like dicks.
And Hangman, we already know, has been a bad friend to people before.
Yes.
Lest we forget the Dark Order.
I do not understand. So I'll put it that way.
Yes, so the match itself, like I said, I love the strikes. I love all that kind of stuff. The knee breaker spot was really entertaining. Yeah. Speedball was selling his ass off, but Kevin, Speedball tries to go up and dive with the to Joe on the ground. He gets distracted, but the ref gets distracted by Hook. Shibata grabs Speedball to help Joe set up for the Muscle Buster. 1, 2, 3. MJF's watching backstage. Again, it was a fine match. Obviously, I would have enjoyed to be able to get less, to just watch the match just straight up, because I feel like Joe and Speedball could put on a banger just if you let them go. And I get, getting Joe back on top and everything like that with that kind of win, and keeping Speedball protected, it just left a lot left over, I felt like.
Okay, and I don't know if I missed stuff. I don't think I missed it. They didn't address Hobbs not being there anymore, did they?
No. It was just Hook and Shibata.
So, dude, I'm telling you, again, I like wrestling, been watching it a long time. So you're trying to get Hook, you're really focusing on Hook right now, right?
Yep.
Why not do a segment before the show? Hobbs laying in the trash, face down, Hook standing up, and he said, "You failed me for the last time." And Hook is the reason Hobbs is gone.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and God knows, I mean, we've got plenty of instances when wrestlers leave for the other company.
Yeah.
Like we all know about the whole idea of losing on your way out. And like,
Yeah.
I think John Cena's last match literally caught up the idea of like, hey, losing on your way out is kind of only a thing that happens if you go to the competition.
Yeah, and all I can say is I was just saying, I just feel like if you got somebody leaving permanently, use it. That's all I was saying. I'm not trying to, bury it as Hobbs. Y'all know how I feel about Hobbs. I'm not going to go through that again. It's just, if you're going to do, at least use it for your TV. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I thought that was a lost opportunity.
Well, you could have said it in a promo even, too, or something.
Yeah, we had to fire him because, he failed us. Because he's the one that got pinned for the Trios title. To me, it's an easy, linear story right there to say you got rid of Hobbs. Now, They may say it on Collision. They may say it on something else. I don't know. But I feel like you should have said it on Dynamite. But again, they were reconfiguring how the night was going to go because of the weather issues at Collision. So they went from, hey, we're just going to fill a Dynamite to filling a Dynamite and Collision all in one night. So if some things fell through the cracks, I could almost understand it.
Yeah. We then go to the trio street fight between the Death Riders and the Don Callis family as Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Daniel Garcia teamed up to face Hechicero, Lance Archer, and Rocky Romero. This was fun. This was a lot of fun.
Now you won't ever hear me say this very often. I did think the match was fun. I felt like it went on too long.
Oh, yeah.
This was like the Don Callis B team.
Yeah. It was the Death Riders against, like you said, like some guys that, like, are in the Don Callis family, and, that helps them get elevated. But, like, I mean, dude, they had Rocky Romero. Love you, guy. But, like, they had Rocky Romero.
Yeah, honestly, let's be real. This is the Don Callis family C team because there's that many people in it. And it's just like, and they took this long? Like, I don't know. Yeah. It was a very entertaining match, but
it was good, yeah. I will say, yeah. But it definitely leaned into the fact that, like, match-wise, we were kind of limited a little bit on the show.
I was like, this match is still going on? Well, we do an overrun. So it's like, how about shorten this match and just not do an overrun? I know. Crazy not doing an overrun. But it just felt like, in my opinion, this match dragged a little.
A little bit. Like, I enjoyed when we had the great face-off with Marina Shafir and Lance Archer. I thought that was great.
Yes. Shout out to Lance. Should be on TV every week. It's just one of those.
Yeah. Of course, Moxley brings out barbed wire, tacks, and broken glass and gets thrown on it. The spot where Pac comes out, he's obviously hobbled, and he takes the crutch to Lance Archer's back, and then fucking out of nowhere, Claudio comes running up from the back, grabs the thing, and then jumps off and slams the crutch on him and breaks the fucking thing over his back, and then slams his face into an electrical box that then pops smoke and sparks out. Like, goddamn. But in the end, as the match goes on, and Rocky Romero gets hit with a pile driver and gets put in the Dragon Tamer and gets stomped as well in the head. Romero can't answer as he's getting put in the Dragon Tamer. Death Riders win, and then said, hey, Don Callis, Moxley tells Don, tell your boy he knows where to find me. And then they walk off. So, again, very entertaining, very fun. I can definitely agree with Floyd, though. It may have went a little too long.
Somebody asked me what boy he was talking about, and I was like, okay. I was like, it's one of those things. I have to realize not everybody watches the show as closely as we do. I'm like, It's Takeshita. I'm like, last week he said Takeshita beat you, Moxley. And then this week he said your boy. He's talking about Takeshita.
It's talking about
Takeshita. If in case you didn't catch up, yes, it's probably going to be Mox and Takeshita in a match for the Continental title sometime soon. Because he is the one that actually beat Mox.
Yes. We had a quick Triangle of Madness promo segment where basically Thekla talked about how Chris Statler is just giving out title shots to everybody. But when I pinned you, you asked what you wanted to do about it. So Statlander, she's like, you get 1 week to enjoy your life, and then I get my title shot in Austin, Texas next week. Sky Blue said, The triangle has room for more too, because Julia Hart wants to go up against the TBS champion Willow Nightingale. She never got a rematch, and she wants it on Collision this Saturday. We then move into Alec Price and Jordan Oliver coming out, and then they get interrupted by Big Stoke sending a message basically to Mark Davis and Jack Doyle, and also wanted to direct everybody, as he's sitting in a wheelchair, to go to helpbigstoke.com to put in some donations for his recovery.
That's a real website.
It is a real website, yes.
I did not give anything.
There's even a video there from Stokely talking about, like, thank you for visiting to donate to helpbigstoke.com. And Tony Schiavone was like, nobody go there. And I'm like, Tony, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah. I did not give to helpbigstoke.com. I reached out to give him 5 at All In, and he jumped at me and made fun of me. So Big Stoke was mean to Little Stoke, and I don't like it. Yeah,
hey, that's the last time I offer you money.
Yep.
So yeah, Alec Price and Jordan Oliver went head-to-head against FTR, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, in a non-title match. And this was a good match, and it led to the announcement too after the match that Alec Price and Jordan Oliver got signed. They are all elite afterwards. They got their
I was very confused by this. I was very confused by this because they had already, announced it at that show that they were all elite. So yep. I guess this is officially all elite. Maybe pin the paper. Official all elite. Okay, you're gonna have your first match in the company. You want to get made to look good. You gotta go in there with the top guys, the greatest tag team in the world, the greatest tag team walking God's green.
How do you think they matched up?
I thought they looked good. Now, one of those things, I'm glad they're signed on the contract. And as far as their in-ring ability, I'm good. I like it. I love their in-ring ability. I love their hot tags. I like how they fly around. But, critique time. They need major league physiques. Now that they get major league money, maybe they get in their nutrition, whatever. I think their build is a little indie right now. And they can work on that. And you need some matching. Did they have matching gear? I don't feel like they had matching gear.
I mean, they were matching color, but like the gear itself was kind of generic, I felt like.
Yeah, so we got to upgrade that gear too. Like, get your gear guy. You can ask Grillo, my boy Grillo. Ask him. He has a gear guy. Get you gear. You're in the major leagues now.
Yep, and get a team name too.
Yeah, you're in the major. They're busting the brain. I do love that.
Busting the brain, but they needs to be either their name on AEW, or we need a team name that's made in AEW.
They need to announce it as Busting the Brain, because that's what I want their name to be, and they would have me forever if they go with that name. But that being said, they'll get the music, they'll get some new gear, physique, tighten it up a little bit. I'm not sitting up here as a 300-pound fat guy saying they don't look good enough. No, I'm just saying when you're looking at the other people in the ring, you want to look like you belong. And right now, when did they get there? So, like I said, I'm just trying to give a little critique. I thought they looked amazing in the match. I thought FTR let them get their shit in, and it looked beautiful. And then that transition to the Shadow Machine, woo-hoo, I saw it, and I was like, oh my God. But I do think they have. This was their first match. I think they have many more matches ahead of time. I think it could be what they were trying to kind of do with the Outrunners. I think they can do with this team. Like, they lost this time, right? Next time they get a little closer. Third time, FTR has to cheat. And then finally they win. I love those stories. And they're kind of boilerplate. I love those stories where you see clear improvement as you build a tag team. So I hope that happens. But as far as this match, great, really good match, really great debut. Like, I'd say if you ask me about the match, I'm like, 3.25, 3.5 stars, right? If you're trying to be one of the judgy people, and I'm using the terms that everybody's familiar with in wrestling, I'm not like a star guy or anything. But if you ask me on the debut, I'd give it a 4 or 4.5 as far as the debut. I felt like it was a strong debut. I felt like they made them some new fans out there. They're two good-looking young kids. They got a lot of energy. They seem to know where to be. Might have been a little nerves on a couple spots, but I thought it looked good. Thought they looked good.
There you go. You basically said everything I wanted to say, so we'll just move on right now to afterwards. We had the response promo from the Babes of Wrath and Chris Statlander about the Triangle of Madness challenge. They accepted it, basically. And Stat tells Thekla she doesn't know who she's dealing with. If you want to drown her in toxic, she'll take you down with her. And she also said if anyone wants an eliminator match on Collision, she'll show you exactly what she means. And Nightingale said, she's been waiting 2 years to get another shot at Julia Hart. And Harley Cameron's like, I will be there too. And if Sky Blue, you try anything, I will punch you in your face. Love my girl. Love her braids. She looks so badass.
You know what's awesome? I brought this up to my friend. Brought this up to JR when we were sitting there. It's like the great thing about her is she could legitimately get what she was going to say. But it's such established that she doesn't know what's the next thing coming out of her mouth that it would end up working anyway.
Oh, yeah. No, she has it completely set up to the point where she can just, I meant to say that, and it's completely within character.
Correct. Absolutely. Love it. Love it for her.
I love Statlander making the comment of that we have every title you want, so fucking bring it. And then we go to Kenny Omega going one-on-one with Josh Alexander. Oh, I will say this firmly. I'm so glad that Kenny Omega is looking good and he's looking fully healthy because now we don't have to worry about his diverticulitis being part of his storyline and everything like that. I think the Best Bout machine is starting to come back, boys. I think we're starting to really get to that point where Kenny is, firing on all cylinders. This is a really good match to showcase that. Josh Alexander was getting some good stuff in there as well. The V-trigger he took was fucking vicious. But yeah, man, dude. I think we've all been waiting and missing when Kenny Omega is presented like, one of the greatest professional wrestlers out there.
Yeah.
And, we've made it through where he's thankfully healthy, fighting through his diverticulitis, and we don't got to worry about it being used in storylines where every time he gets hit in the stomach, he's throwing up and being like, oh, my tum-tum. I'm so hyped that he said in the promo afterwards, it's the best I've felt in a while. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
So
because
I have a friend that likes to say AEW has no legitimate draws. And I always say, you're full of shit. He's just been unhealthy for a while. And his name's Kenny Omega. Yes. I'm like, I've seen him just be announced for shit and move thousands of tickets and move tickets everywhere. And it's like, now especially as he's getting older and you're not going to get Kenny Omega forever.
Exactly.
Value that ticket. If Kenny Omega is announced for a show and he is going to be wrestling in a one-on-one match, we don't know how many more of these we have. We could have 100. We could have 10. You have no idea. This dude's wrestling with the diverticulitis. So, man, you see Kenny Omega in your area. You see Kenny Omega in driving distance. Make sure you're buying a ticket to see Kenny Omega.
Oh, and I know, too, when we saw All in Texas, I was like, there's no chance in hell this is the last match between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. Yep. There's no goddamn chance. So now that Kenny's feeling even better and feeling healthier, when they do that match again, that's where I'm like, all right, now we're fucking doing an Okada Omega match. That's what, obviously, it was what we got last year, and it was great. You knew there was more they could do, and they wanted to do more, but they just kind of couldn't. So I think now, if we get it sometime in the future, let's fucking go. I really don't got much else to say. Omega and Josh did great. I love seeing these guys work off each other. Especially love the Avalanche fucking top rope Death Valley driver. And it wasn't a Death Valley driver, but the fucking had him in the fireman's carry and he flipped forward and then dropped him on his back. I don't know the name of the move, but Josh Alexander was great with that.
Josh Alexander is dope. He's one of those people that, let's just say there's some injury problems or anything on the thing, you can push him up into the main event picture anytime because he's a main event level wrestler. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's a main event level character, but he's a main event level wrestler. And you saw that he hung with Kenny Omega right there. They told a different story. It was a much more of a fight than the best bout that Kenny Omega is kind of known for. It was more like he was throwing punches and they were hating. But according to the story and what Josh Alexander did to what he did to Kota Ibushi, that actually really worked in this case because this is not just Kenny Omega. This is a very pissed off Kenny Omega that you hurt his friend.
Yeah. Oh, he's fired up, man.
Yes.
I'm just like, now he's starting to feel like Kenny Omega. Now he's starting to feel like that. And I love that. I love that for him so much. We move in next to Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford taking on Mina Shirakawa and Timeless Tony Storm, the Timeless Love Bombs. And yeah, this was a pretty damn solid match. Very athletic, very good stuff. Got to showcase Megan Bayne, who's very much. This match was specifically to make sure that they continue to keep Megan Bayne near the top of the card for the women's division. Getting the help from Marina Shafir to help them get the win. I'm sure Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford will be looking to go after the tag titles to continue their upward trajectory, especially since Penelope's back because she dealt with her injury in the original tag team tournament for the championship. So now that she's all back with Megan, kind of get them a little bit back on the fast track and set something up maybe with Tony Storm with Marina Shafir, continue that upwards. And, yeah, I think this did everything it wanted to do, and it was solid. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
So we can now, I think, move on to the main event, which was Swerve Strickland versus the Jet Kevin Knight. Yeah, another really good match, too, in this one. Probably the best match of the night, if we're being honest. And I don't think that's any hard thing to say. This was really, really good stuff. Kevin Knight, I thought, looked great in this. I enjoyed the fact that he kind of set up himself to be a little bit of heelish, but not really, because people still like Kevin. And his high-flyingness is always super, super entertaining. The back body drop he set up Swerve with was, it looked like it was a tough fall, and then he proceeds to run up and do a diving missile drop kick to the floor, which that's a bump that's going to hurt Swerve just as much as it hurts you with that jumping drop kick from the fucking apron. I loved how he dodged the house call and then set up his rotating dot frog splash thing he does. The pile driver on the guardrail, man. Ooh, buddy, man, that was a move. That was a move, and it's just I love seeing Kevin do his springboard into the Hurricanrana, and man, that set up a really good stuff with him. It looked like he had him when he did the coast to coast, but the midair house call, man. Ugh, here's my only issue I have. It was such a good match. Swerve's got so many goddamn finishers. It feels like that he hit 3 moves to set up the pinfall, and I understand making sure Kevin still looks good with him taking a lot of damage before taking the pinfall. I understand that, but the midair house call should have been the final. I feel like you hit that and then you just pin, you win. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was just that's the finish. You know what I mean? That's the fucking finish.
Yeah, I completely agree with that statement. No, this match, definitely match of the night. Probably my favorite AEW match this year. Yeah, this reminded me kind of a little further along. I was talking about FTR and Price, and I was like, well, they're going to do a second match and a third match, and then they'll finally beat them. This felt like the second match in this group. Even though it was the first match, it felt like the second match because Kevin Knight gave him everything he could, and he was right there to beat him. And then Swerve just went to that next level. Swerve is just better than him right now. Yep. So it feels like, okay, in that third match, we may see Kevin Knight get him. But I really did this. I thought this was really cool. So it was pointed out later that 4 years ago, Swerve debuted at this building in Orlando. And, I love to say it. I got to say it. I was there. Swerve debuted in the building, and he just like they had just announced him, and he comes out, and he didn't get physical with anybody. It was literally like, we just got this big name free agent. And you didn't understand. Floyd, I want to make sure it's clear, did not understand how big that signing was at the time. I was like, he was the North American champion. He was part of, and like, I thought he was all right. Again, I will say Swerve and Darby Allin, two people that I like. If you ever want to say, Floyd's kind of stuck in his ways and he only likes this thing, I will tell you Swerve and Darby Allin. When I first saw Darby Allin, I was like, nope. When I first saw Swerve, I'm like, he'll be all right. Two of my favorite wrestlers in AEW now. It's just like sometimes you just haven't seen enough of someone. You haven't seen them presented the right way. You haven't seen things to really get what they bring in energy to them. And I didn't. And now it's 4 years later on Swerve. I'm like looking at my Who's House hat, and I got like a wall of Swerve figures because I'm such a big fan now. But I wasn't there at the beginning. To those people that be like, I was a day one fan. Congratulations. I was like a day 10 fan, I'm not trying to come into your realm. I got there a little later, but I'm there and I love them.
Yeah.
But it wasn't day one. It wasn't day one with Swerve. It wasn't day one with Darby. It wasn't day one with a few people in AEW.
Sure.
I had to see them. I had to see them presented. And now he's this guy that even in a loss felt like he even made Kevin Knight. You see that future thing is. You see that breakout star is there. You see it all in Kevin Knight.
Oh, yeah. No, it's 100% there. And I still think it's there with Speedball, too. I think both those guys have really, really bright futures.
Speedball has grown on me.
I knew he would.
He's getting there. Again, it's seeing his gear enough where it doesn't bother me anymore. It's seeing his hair enough where it doesn't bother me anymore. The mullets and barefoot, I know. I feel like you only can have one. And the fact that you have two makes me want to punch you. But then he did the Karate Kid thing. I dig it. That made me legitimately in a serious match. He does this thing that makes me giggle, but it didn't take me out of the seriousness of the match. So I feel like that's a talent, and like I said, he's growing on me. But that's what I say about wrestling. And I say about anything in life, really. Allow your taste to be flexible. Don't be like, I don't like Mike Bailey. Grr, grr, grr. He does this amazing thing. Well, I still don't like him because you've decided that that's your personality. Is that you don't like that person?
Set in your ways. Set in your ways.
Your personality.
You're allowed to change your opinion.
Yeah,
you're allowed to change your opinion based on new information.
Yes,
I feel like, especially in this day and age, that is a very, very valid thing. You are allowed to change your mind.
Yes, you're allowed to be flexible, and don't try not to paint yourself in the corner where it's like I hate him and I'm gonna hate him forever. No, leave it a little bit open.
Yep. That is it for AEW Dynamite this week. In terms of what we got collision-wise, of course, Chris Statlander's got her Women's World Championship Eliminator match. Isla Dawn accepted the challenge. Isla Dawn. Sorry, my apologies.
I got you.
My apologies. Proto Shida, Kyle Fletcher, and Hikaru Shida will be if facing off.
Did you just say Hikaru Shida? Did you
fucking god damn it? Jesus Christ, I'm so tired.
Oh yes, Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita will be tagging up.
I want to see that though. Seriously, there needs to be a mixed match challenge where it's Kyle Fletcher and Hikaru Shida. I need that.
So
Kyle Fletcher and fucking Konosuke Takeshita.
See, it's so funny because his name's Takeshita, but when you pronounce it in the tag team, it's not.
It's not Shida.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah. It should be like Protoshka. Or
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Protesta or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's
Those two
even
are
us trying to do it, it's
Austin
broken.
Gunn. Those two are facing Billy and Austin Gunn. We're going to see Davis and Doyle in action. Andrade El Idolo will be facing off against Magnus. And then for next week, Chris Statlander will be defending her AEW Women's World Championship against Thekla. And then the TBS Championship will be on the line against Willow Nightingale and Julia Hart this Saturday. And Hangman Page takes on Katsuyori Shibata. I believe...
For those of their souls are broken because Billy Gunn is on your TV again, it's because of the snowstorm. They had to move some shit around. They literally, Baron Corbin, which is Bishop Dyer, was on the pre-show. Why?
Yep,
because
I saw that.
He's like, I just showed up. He's like, I was bringing up Big Show to the show, and I get there, and he's like, hey, we're low on people. Do you want to wrestle? And he wrestled. That simple.
There you go. And then lastly, the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship will be defended by Claudio Castagnoli against Roderick Strong. That's
hell yeah. Yeah.
A match for Collision.
All right. And just a quick
there you go. That's what we got. And of course, guys,
reminder, 2025 AEW Awards is ongoing. We've gotten a lot of votes. We want a lot more. Again, just like last year, the winner will get 2 tickets to any lower level tickets to any AEW show in their area. So definitely that's going to happen. But yeah, looking forward to doing the results show. That's going to be fun. But yeah, make sure you vote. Help us out. We want to hear what everybody thinks. And yeah, the link will be in the show notes.
Big time. We only got a couple other things headlines-wise we want to touch on before we go ahead and close out this episode of All Things Elite. Floyd, you can take it away.
All right. This is going to be quick because we're not going to delve into it. We're not going to have a long talk about it. Trey Miguel contract was terminated from AEW. He went about his business. He actually ended up re-debuting on TNT, or what is it, Impact Wrestling, TNA, whatever, tonight. Apparently, he said some stuff. Not even apparently. He said some stuff on social media WBD didn't like. WBD made the call that he gets released. And then we also found out WBD owes like 10% of the company. So maybe the word, carries
a little bit of weight.
Carries a little bit of weight. So non-voting shares, of course, but still 10% of the company. They basically say, hey, we're not putting them on TV. Feel bad. I read what was said, and I will just say this, it's their company. What am I supposed to say about it? And then last but not least, it was announced tonight, right before the show, Sean Ross Sapp, official, that Powerhouse Hobbs has signed with the WWE. Again, I want to wish Powerhouse Hobbs the best in the WWE. I hope he breaks whatever ceiling or whatever he does and does amazing there. Again, to me, this is what we have to do as AEW fans. Somebody does that time. 6 years with the company, and they decide to go on somewhere else. You got to wish them the best. You don't I am tribalistic as a motherfucker. I love it. Love tribalism. But me, I like fun tribalism. My team's better than your team, blah, blah,
right,
blah.
Busting balls.
Busting balls.
Like that.
But yeah, when you like, oh, I hate you. Again, he may come back. So it's like, I want him to, if you go one way on certain things, you make people never want to come back. Like, let's say Mariah May doesn't work out in the WWE. I asked this, why would she come back to AEW without a fans treated her after she left?
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating.
And because I love Mariah May, and I thought she was so good in AEW, and I would absolutely, if she wanted to come back, 1,000%.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, and I'm talking about us as a fan base. Just be better. That's
yes.
it. It's just be better. Yes, it is okay to root for your teams. It's okay to love your team. And if you have friends that like WWE and you want to, razz each other, don't be online telling you people you wish they would die. I'm not saying that. No one here that is listening to this show is doing it. So I'm really not even speaking to anyone. I'm not changing any minds. But
here's what I've always said too. I will stick up for wrestlers way more before I stick up for a company because I don't work for said company. Why should I be putting my stake and my voice so hard ahead of like, oh, like, well, you abandoned the company, so fuck you. It's like, I don't work for them. Like, AEW is my preferred TV show. That's why I do the podcast with Floyd and everything like that. But like, I'm not going to turn on somebody for taking an opportunity. It's stupid. These people are independent contractors.
I would say that. I would say that, but everybody would know I was lying. I will turn on you. I will absolutely turn on you. If you're a Chief and you go to the Broncos, I hate you forever.
I'm used to sports. I'm used to pro wrestling business and stuff like that, and it is what it is, man. You just kind of get used to it. So that's whatever. But that will close things out, though, on this episode of All Things Elite. Folks, we appreciate you guys listening to the show every week. And wherever you are right now in the country, stay warm with how fucking cold it's going to be and be able to make sure you're staying safe and everything like that, because it's going to be cold. You're going to be living basically the life that, like, I live 6 or 7 months out of the year. So stay warm, guys. If you enjoy the show, we appreciate you. If you download this show on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to us on, we appreciate it. Give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Rate, review, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter at ATElitePod. You can also follow at Social Suplex. They make this entire show possible. We love the guys at Social Suplex, and you should check out all the other great shows they have on their network. I'm at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And go to sign up for the Social Suplex newsletter. Link is in the description of the show. I will pass it off to my buddy Floyd so he can take us home on this episode of All Things Elite.
Yes. To everyone this year, it's 23 days in. If you've still on your New Year's resolution, congratulations. If you have quit your New Year's resolution, you can start February 1st. The best way, if you want to make change in life, the best day to start is today. And, you can start tomorrow. But I truly believe that this year, my word of the year is health. And that's what I'm focusing on. I hope everybody has something that they're focusing on, whatever it is. I would like to throw out a word, if you don't have a word, positivity. Try to put that energy out in the world. And we call ourselves the Proclivity of Positivity. And you listen to the show. It's not all sunshines and rainbows. But when you try to look at things in a way where it's more focusing on what you like about it, more focusing on putting your energy into what you like, putting your energy into what you love, I tell you that energy comes back to you, because I can tell you as this, I have a lot of friends that, have my back and I have their back. And I truly believe it's because of the energy I put out in the world. I've been told so many times that my energy on the show is infectious. And I've never gotten it because I'm just doing the show. This is who I am all the time. So I just want you to say that. So if you see that in the world, and I know not everything's always sunshine and rainbows. You go through shit, car shit, family shit, work shit. All that shit exists. But if you try in those moments to realize what you can see that is positive and be grateful for what you have, I feel like that can change the whole energy, the way you vibrate in the world. And I know I'm sounding like new age stuff, but I do think there was a point in my life where I was a very kind of negative person. And, I changed that about myself. I started focusing on what is positive in the world. And I feel like my world has changed that, and I started attracting the people that feel the same way as me. So hopefully you can do the same thing with you, same thing, and get that energy out there. And with that, I will leave you how I always leave you, whether it's home, work, or school. Always do your best to be elite.
If If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.